Writing in lowercase o in Fundations, the proper way to do it, how to say it, how to teach it, but then also how to pronounce it, and then what do I do if my child struggles with an O, with writing an O? What can I do? All of that is in this video. So when I'm making an O, Fundation says O is a plain line round letter. It starts on the plain line, just like a C. So go to the plain line, trace back, then down to the grass line, and around back up to the plain line. O, octopus, ah. All right, typical errors, and by the way, as we all know, O might be read ah, but it might be read O. We are only teaching it as the ah sound for a long time before we muddy the waters and say, oh, by the way, it can also be read as the O sound, because they won't know which one to choose, which one to say, and we want the most common one, which is ah, to be their go-to. And then later we'll teach them, okay, in this situation it says ah, but in this situation it will say O. But that's later. So when you're teaching at home, only teach it as the ah sound. So any plain line round letters are all going to, not all, most of them start off with the letter C. So the first thing I would do if my child is struggling with writing an O, I would go back and teach them how to write a C, because they're going to need to know that from several letters. And so let's get that solid, and then it just lends itself real nicely to completing it as an O. So that would be my first plan of attack, is get them a solid C before we turn it into an O. Okay. Typically, if they're not careful, what they'll do is they'll start on the plain line and then they'll come straight down and then go around, and then they're going to have to go all the way back over here, which can affect the legibility of the O. But again, if I'm going to be using 5 or 6 letters starting with the letter C, and O is one of them, I'm going to teach the C proper, make sure it's good. And so to battle the coming straight down, I would show them when I start my O, it looks like this. Let's look at your O and look at my O when I started. Look at your O when you started. Well, my O scratched its back first, isn't it? It went go scratch, 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 scratch its back before it could drop down. Did your O scratch its back first, or did it just drop real fast? It dropped really fast. So we have to make sure that we are scratching our back first before we can go down to the grass line. Oh, octopus. That's probably the most typical error that I have with an O.